I'm here to do a tutorial for you. By request, I am here to show you my file folder, photofolio, slash lapbook, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure what the correct term is for it, but it's just something I made and I wanted to share with you guys. And I have all the measurements for you, so I will have that linked. I will have that in the description box below. What I've done is gone ahead and cut out all my measurements. It'll take anywhere from 10 to 12 file folders if you want to make one of these. The fun thing about this is you can switch it up however you want to and put these, a lot of these you can do as you put them in places that you want to put them. You don't have to put them exactly where I put them if you don't want to. So I have one here that I'm going to show you that's already done. And I will also have the measurements posted as I go. So let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this one. This is the one I have all put together already, and I think I'm going to do a few things different with the one that I make with you guys. So there is a pocket here that I made, so it's like an envelope. I still have to attach my magnets, which I'll be doing with you guys. I have a pocket here with a large tag. I also wanted to let you know that you guys, if you wanted to, you could add, you can change the color. You can either glue and mist it. Don't use this color file folder. You can, it's really fun because you can basically do it with cardstock. You can use any color you want to use. Doesn't have to be what I'm doing here. So I have a small belly band here, and then I have a waterfall, which I will be adding magnets to, and then here's a pocket underneath, and then there's a pocket here as well. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. That way, if somebody puts something in here, if I put something in here, it doesn't fall out. So I will figure that out in my head. There's some corner pockets here, and I'll show you how to make those. Belly band, double pocket, and what's fun about this pocket is that this goes all the way down. So, and it doesn't come out right here. So I'm going to show you how I did that as well. There is a pocket here. This is optional. If you want to have this sealed, you can do that. And then this flips open. And I guess it's kind of hard to see right now. You guys have seen it already on my video, which I will have linked below as well. So and then that closes up like that. And then the back page is another envelope area. And then it just closes up like that. And so I'm going to be making one with you guys. And I will be letting you know all the measurements. Like I said, I'm probably going to be adding stuff as I go. I don't know. I haven't really done a tutorial like this before, so this is my first go. I hope it goes well. I got mine from the Dollar Tree, and mine measure, what are they? 11 5/8 by a little bit, like 9 1/8. So that's what my measurements are. So what I did was I took a top loading tab. So I took a tab at the top, and then I took one with a tab at the bottom. And what I did was I put them together like that. I will be going ahead and starting there. So all you want to do is, if you want these two to be together and you don't want that open middle, just glue it all together. You don't have to make a pocket. I made a pocket out of mine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And just along you can use liquid glue or double-sided tape. I like to use liquid glue for this part. I'm just going to go ahead and stick this on there. And I noticed with my dollar store envelopes, they are not all even. They're not all the exact same measurements, and I'm guessing that's what happens when you get them from the dollar store. So it's not a big deal for me. If you guys are, you know, you want it to be perfect, then I would suggest getting maybe not dollar store brand, but I haven't had any trouble with it. I just noticed it's not all completely even, and I'll show you. See right here? That doesn't line up, and I was thinking at first that maybe because this is one of them's bottom tab and one of them's a top tab, but I don't think that should matter. If they're the same measurements, they should all just line up exactly, and these don't. So it's okay. Like I said, it doesn't bother me too much. So you will need a bone folder and some 1/4 inch double-sided sticky tape. And if you want to use liquid glue, that's totally fine too. I would just be more careful if you're going to be sealing certain areas. Like if you're doing a pocket or something, I'd be more careful with that. Okay, so let's see what I did here. This tab ended up being at the bottom, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that so it's the same. I didn't want to mess anything up, so. So you're gonna want 2 pieces that measure 11 5/8 by 5 inches. And so, like I said, I've already cut mine out and pre-scored them, and you'll have the directions down below as well. So when you it's 11 5/8 by 5 inches, and you're going to want to score on the 5-inch side at a 1/2 inch, one side only, and you're going to do it to both pages, both pieces. So it's going to look like this. Going to burnish that. Even that over. And again, I like to do this. You don't have to. I just think it makes it work better. And I wouldn't score. I wouldn't do that. Burnish it like this because there's a chance you could roll it over the wrong way. I like to push it down here so you can see everything. And just run your bone folder across. So once you have these 2 pieces, we can go ahead, and I'm going to set these aside just for right now. I'm going to set these 2 pieces aside, and we're going to come back to that in just a second. So my next 2 measurements that I have, this is a file folder, and it's going to be a file folder envelope, and the way I did this is I cut the tabs off and made sure that I cut the file folder at 7.5 inches by 11 5/8. So here you're gonna have this whole file folder, but just cut it at 7.5 inches, and then once you do that, open it up, and on one side, if you need to measure it this way, that's totally fine when you're cutting it. I measured mine a different way, but however is easier for you. You want this piece right here to be 4 inches and 4 3/4. So that's how big you want this piece to be. And we're going to go ahead and put this piece in. And in a minute. Your second piece is going to be let's see, 3.5 inches. You're going to want one that's 3.5 inches by 11 5/8. Go ahead and put the tape on there. And what this is going to do is make an envelope. We're going to make an envelope with this for the inside of your file folder. So let's go ahead and look at the file folder and see what we have going on right now before we get started. So with mine, I have this page. So, and then I have this one on the back. So I have one page in the middle, but I have a few pages, I have 4 pages to work with right now. And then there is a pocket in the center if I want to put stuff in there. I just like to have that as an option. So we're going to take this piece, once you get that 4 3/4 inch piece cut right here, we're going to open up our file folder, and what I want you to do is, on this side right here, I want you to apply glue or double-sided tape to the 4 edges, or the 3 edges right here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and eyeball this. And I don't want to put it on the crease. I'm going to try to put it a little bit so that there's some space. That seems good. I will show you a trick that I learned from Genevieve Designs when you're putting your double-sided tape down and you want a little bit of wiggle room. It works perfectly. So when you flip this over, there we go, you're going to want to see your center mark and a little bit of space, maybe a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch, whatever you feel like doing, but you want a little bit of space there. So that's going to open like that, and then you're going to have a pocket there. I'm going to give that a second to dry. Alright, so this is your front. It opens up, you have a little pocket, and then you have this extra piece right here, which we will be messing with later. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and do this piece right here. Peel the back of the tape off, and I'm going to line this up because I want this to come down over this piece right here. Now it doesn't have to go all the way down like that. I like to have some space so that way when I flip it up, there's some space right here and you can see what's in there. So, oh yeah, okay, so what I do is when I want some wiggle room in case I mess up and I don't have to rip the whole tape off, this is a trick I learned from Genevieve Designs, and she learned the trick from one of her viewers. So if you have some stick glue, this works perfectly. So all you're going to do is just put a swipe or two right over your glue, right over your tape, and it won't mess anything up. It just gives you some mistake room to mess up a little bit. So let's see. Put that down a little bit lower, and so you can lift it up without a whole bunch of hassle. And see if that's straight, at least ish. Not very picky about it. Just want it generally straight, I guess. And then once I have it where I like it, I'm going to go ahead and rub that down, and your tape will stick once that glue dries, so don't worry about it. And we're going to go ahead and put this down with magnets, but right now I'm going to use a corner puncher and corner punch these real quick. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So you have a little envelope pocket insert here, and you have this extra space, and that's okay. Don't worry about this. You'll be covering that up when you mat. And like I said, I don't know, for some reason these envelopes are not even, so I'm not very picky about it. I'm going to trim it up a little bit on the sides because that is a little too much for me. And I have a feeling if you get the more expensive professional file folders, you are not going to have this problem, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. And a little bit of trimming doesn't go bad. Okay. See how we're doing. Okay. So here we have the envelope here. Then we have this page that flips right here. And this page. And that's the back. So, alright. I'm going to move this aside while I get the next pieces. Actually, we're going to take our previous two pieces. If you have those, go ahead and get those out. We're going to take these two pieces here and apply them. So for me, let's see, what am I going to do here? I think I'm going to put mine here. And I will be trimming this up, I think, when I'm done, because that is going to bug me. Take it back, it's going to bug me. Okay, and like I said, if you want to, go ahead and apply some, use your glue stick and apply a little bit on your tape. And then kind of line that up. Make sure you're not on your fold. You do not want to be on your fold. That is not good. And that's good. I think that's good. Yep, I got on the fold. There we go. Alright. And then I'm going to take my next one, turn the page, and I'm going to put one in here. Apply a little bit of glue. It can be any kind of glue. I'm using Elmer's Craft Bond. If you used Scor glue, you don't have to use any particular glue. I'm going to put this here. Again, not on my fold, like a 1/16 of an inch away from my fold there. There we go. I'm going to run my foam folder across there, and then like that. Alright, so if you have any pieces that aren't lining up, go ahead and trim those. They seem noticeable now, but they're really not that bad. Once you're putting the mats down and you get all your decorations on there, you really don't notice it at all, but unless it's really bad. So I have my pieces in here. I'm going to go ahead and go over what we have so far. I'm probably going to do that a few more times just so everybody's on the same page. So we have the envelope, we have this page here, then we have the small page, and this is where we're turning onto the second part of the file folder, so there will be a pocket in here if you made one. If not, it'll just be completely sealed. And then we'll have the little flip right here and the back page. Okay, so we have some pages going on, lots of room for fun stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get the next part. And this one is going to be, let's see, your first one's going to be 8.5 by 6.5, and you're going to score on the 6.5 side one time, so it'll be right here, and then the 8.5 on both sides. So that's what it'll look like. And then you're going to make two 5 by 5s, and you're going to score on all sides. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my tape now. Alright, so when you're applying your tape, make sure you do not put your tape on the score line. You don't want to put it at the edge of it either. I mean, middle doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to get it towards the middle. So, apply my tape to this other one. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use my bone folder and just burnish all this. Alright, so before you fold this one, let's start with this one. I'm going to move these aside. Before you fold these corners back, I want you to cut on the X right here. Cut right in the middle of the X and just cut that corner off. So it looks like that. Just cut the corners off. Now you can go ahead and fold your edges. So you'll have a pocket. It'll be a large pocket. I'm going to go ahead and burnish this with my bone folder so it stays down better. And bring my folder over here. So for me, where I'm going to put this one is, so I'm opening my first page right now. Get this out of the way. So I'm opening my first page. I have my envelope folder here, my envelope pocket, and then I have this page. And I'm going to go ahead and put this right here. Okay? Like I said, remember, you don't want to be right on your fold. You don't want to do that. So try to give it some space if possible. And if you want to, nope, I'm going to stick to the plan. I don't want to confuse anybody. Keep it simple. Put a pocket right here. So I'm going to peel these off. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use the glue stick again. And don't panic about getting your glue on certain areas. Oh, I forgot to add, if you are distressing, you're going to want to distress these before you take the tape off. Distress the edges before you take the tape off. I probably should do that, but I'm not really worried about that right now. Line that up. Nope, 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 nope. There. Here we go. And I'm just going to run my bone folder over it. And perfect. Yeah, I like that. Alright. So I'm going to fold this, set this aside again. And next you should have two 5x5s, and we're going to cut these together. So if you have your paper trimmer, go ahead and grab that. If you're doing it with X-Acto blade, get a roller and X-Acto blade ready. And I think it's easiest to do it this way, but if you are comfortable using a blade and a ruler, then go ahead and do it like that. But basically you want to cut from corner to corner, and you want it to be in the shape of a diamond. You don't want it to be square. So this is going to give you your corner pockets. And that's about right. That's better. No, hold on. So you're going to have two pieces that look like this. So go ahead and do your second piece. And honestly, this one is completely optional. Everything's really optional. But if you don't want to add this second set of corner pockets to your project, you don't have to do that. There we go. Okay, so once you have your four corner pieces, once you take one set, so take the two, set the other two aside, and then I want you to cut across the X. Just cut that corner off. There we go. Both corners are gone. Then you're going to fold this, and once you fold it, you're going to see that your pieces cross over like that. So once you have that, and it looks like a paper airplane in the making, I want you to just cut those off. Just like that. Fold my other ones. Cut those off. All right. So you're going to have your corner pockets. You can go ahead and do your other ones if you want to. I'm just going to start with these two and open this up. And honestly, you can put these in a number of places. You can do, I guess you can do one here. You can do, and for me, I like to do them on these edges here. On a little flip. It looks super cool once you tuck something in and it's kind of sticking out. Looks awesome. So that's how I'm going to do that one. I'm going to put these on this side actually, and take off the tape backing, apply some glue, and just make sure you're not on the fold. There we go. And just push that down. And do the same thing to the other one. Flip this over. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what we have so far. Like I said, I'm going to do this a few times. Feel free to skip ahead a little bit if you don't want to see it again. Envelope, large pocket. Then you have this page right here is blank, this page, and you'll have your pockets there. And I'm going to go ahead and put the other two on this side. That side? Yes, it is. So again, I'm going to cut these corners off. Fold over my edges. And fold my edges. Move this over here a little bit. There we go. Cut off those extra pieces. Oops. All right. Go ahead and peel these off again and add my glue. Again, don't get on your fold. You don't want to be on the fold. Okay. And yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I gave that shirt to Mom.
This shirt?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'll just put your stuff right here.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Okay, so we're going to take a look at what we have. Envelope, pocket, blank, blank, and it has the corner pockets here. And then you're on your second file folder, pockets here, and corner edges, or your other corner pockets. If you want to, you can put them on this side. I choose to put them on this side. And then that's the back. What is this? I'm not really sure what that is. All right. So, let's see. So this will be a pocket. Your next piece is going to sound really strange, but I will explain that to you. So your second piece, you're going to score on the 5 1/8 side at 1 inch on one side. And then the 8 1/2 side, you're going to score on both sides. So you're going to make another pocket. It looks like a pocket, but it's going to be a, it looks very odd. You're going to have a whole 1 inch down here. And I will explain that to you in just a moment. So let's start by adding our tape to this one. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside. And then I want you to go ahead and apply your tape backing to the 1/4 inch sides. All right, and from here, what we're going to do is we're going to cut it. Alright, so I don't want you to cut all the way through. I just want you to cut until you reach the score. So cut on the 1 inch score until you get about right there. And then I want you to cut diagonal, just like that. See, it's going to look just like this. And then do the same thing to the other side. Cut and so you're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, so your score line is going to be a 1 inch score line, and it's going to be right here. So your score line is still there. You don't need to fold it. I'm just doing it so you can see it better. And what I'm going to do is, because this is going to be a little too large, and I'll go ahead and show you. Go ahead and cut the corners off. Fold them back. And fold them back. All right. So go ahead and fold these back. But I want to show you what I'm doing real quick so you understand why we're going to cut it. So this is going to go, I'm going to put this right here. This is where I want this pocket to go. So this pocket's going to go here. And then we're going to put this one on top. And I already cut off that extra, an extra 1.5 inches. So if yours is too large and it goes up here, go ahead and cut off that 1.5 inches. And I'm going to show you why, because I have an extra piece right here. See, this was up here, and I'm going to keep this piece. So if yours is too large, just go ahead and cut off 1.5 inches, or cut off as much as you want the top to be shown, as much as you want on the top to show. So go ahead and peel your tape backing off the back. I'm going to go ahead and apply some glue. And put this down. And then this one, I'm going to peel the backing off. Like I said before, if you want to distress your edges, do it before you take off the tape backing, okay? And you're going to slip this part in right here until the edges touch. And go ahead and press it down. So you have a seamless type pocket, and it goes in there, and that'll go all the way down. So you have a double pocket there. Where is that piece? I had that 1.5 inch piece that I cut, and I can't find it. Yep, this is it. I'm gonna go ahead and score. Was this it? Let me measure. Nope, that's not it. But I'm gonna go ahead and make a 1.5 inch piece, because I want to put a belly band right here. This is optional. You do not have to put a belly band there. I'm going to score a 1/4 inch. 1.5, yep. 1 inch. 1/4 inch. Ooh. So this would go here, like that. I'll go ahead and apply my tape. All right. So let's go over what we have so far. We have the front, envelope pocket, large pocket, empty page, half page with corner pockets, and we have our double pockets and a belly band if you put that one there. Next side of the file folder, and that's the back. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next part, and this part is an extra page. This is just an extra page that I had, and I went ahead and scored it a 1/2 inch on the leftover flap that I had, and I'm going to just apply it on one of the pages. So I'll go ahead and apply my tape backing, or my double-sided sticky tape. Down. And I'm going to open up my folder, and I'm going to put this in here like so. Okay? So I'm going to peel off my tape, and I'm going to apply some glue in case I mess up, because this part is kind of like an eyeballing type situation. All right. Alright, so with this piece, so this is my back page. I'm going to have that open. This piece I'm going to flip in like that, and then that is how that's going to go. Alright, so I'm going to take my next pieces and get those ready.